Okay, so welcome everyone. This is our fourth, I think, just kind of roundtable meeting, and this is the public awareness pillar. So all things public awareness. And we have Chris Carroll, who's our public awareness chair. And I don't think you have any other committee members here, do you?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay. So I will turn it over to you.
Well, welcome. Like Governor Judy said, we're just kind of an open forum tonight. Here for you to answer any questions, share any best practices, just kind of have the ability to talk to other clubs about what they're working on, what they're doing, get some ideas, share tips, whatever. We're open forum tonight. So if anybody has any burning questions, you can kick it off. I don't even really have an agenda. You all are writing the agenda tonight. So anybody has questions, you can put your hand up, holler it, put it in chat, and we'll manage the direction of the topics tonight.
I have a question for Kelly, not to put you on the spot.
I love being on the spot.
I asked at the beginning of the year, I asked who does your social media? Or did I ask you or Karen? I don't remember. But the answer I got is, well, we have different people that do different things, if I recall correctly.
No, that might have been the case a year ago.
Okay, maybe
But
that was last year.
Our wizard is Terry Tanner, and she's amazing.
That I knew, and Terry's on the committee. Okay, well, at the time I asked that question, I was curious, like how things were split up. So maybe that's just an open question to everyone. Do you have?
I think it was. So I was doing the website. I think that's what you're referring to. I was doing the website, and Terry was doing all things Facebook and Insta social media.
Okay.
Yeah, because she wasn't super comfortable with the website.
Gotcha. Well, nobody is.
No, nobody is. Thank God.
So my question was going to be, or still is to everyone else, do you have kind of your public awareness? Do you have a committee? If so, do you have it different people responsible for different things, or are we sort of depending on one person? I'm just sort of curious how different clubs are managing that.
Julie, go ahead.
So we don't have like technically a public awareness, but right now, Emma has been doing our website, who is our treasurer and has been on the board for several years. And then Debbie handles our Facebook, and Debbie does a great job on Facebook. I always see different things coming up. And then every so often I'll pop on, if I see something or I've been to an event, I'll add it onto our Facebook. And then if there's something that's coming up that I know about, or like if we're doing the Seas Candy link, I'll send it to both Debbie and to Emma.
Okay.
Caitlin?
Yeah, so at the beginning of this year, we actually had two committees. We had a social media, and then we had a website committee. And I was co-chair for both of them. And they were pretty much the same members on both committees. So I put out the idea of why don't we form the two into one. And so now our club, Oakdale, has the digital presence committee, and that kind of covers all of our digital presence. So social media, website, and then if we're also needed for like the newspaper or anything like that, we're there. And even though we have one big committee, we have kind of divvied up each job into almost like a subcommittee. So we have a couple of people working on website. We have a couple people who just work on the communication aspect of getting between the different committees, seeing what they need to what they need posted, what they need more um what they need help on with getting their events or getting their whatever out there. And then we have somebody who, or a couple of people who are just there to sort of keep the posting alive on our social medias and, answer whatever messages we need. Um, and it's working out pretty well. We have Ruth, who's actually in the call right now, and we have one of our newer members, Angela, who Angela actually works in some sort of I can't remember what exactly she does, but she works in some sort of IT or something, and she is great at website management. She's had her own business, and her son actually has his own little business. So she's amazing at website design, and her and Ruth put together the most awesome website I could have imagined for our club. Um, so yeah, that's just what we're doing.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
I can't take too much credit for the website, and it really is Angela, and Angela is a whiz. And what I am helping Angela do is because Angela's, a fairly new member, and so she doesn't really have the history. And so we tag team it together. I provide her like all the photographs, and I tell her what these are photographs of, and I give her I feed to her information about the different programs because she hasn't been a member that long, and so that's how we really complement each other. And again, like Caitlin described it, it's really, really working well. And, that's how we teamed up together. And she truly is a whiz when it comes to, and the other thing that I do to support her is and we had another meeting about this kind of, I set up a Google Drive, and I dump all the documents into a Google Drive so she can go and get them and post them as she is working on that area of our website. And they're all in folders and they're all identified. So she knows that if she was looking for working on Dream It Be It, then she just goes to the Dream It Be It folder, and all the photographs are all identified for her. And I'll put a little write-up about, what this Dream It Be It was, and, whatever information. So we work really well together as far as that goes. But she knows so much more than I could ever know about the inner workings and the behind the scenes website stuff. She's a total whiz.
I just want to add on and say something that I think that's working within our committee is that we are we're saying, okay, what are your certain skills? What are your certain skills? And we give them a job based on their skills. So Ruth, she's not the great, I mean, no offense to Ruth, she said this herself. She's not the greatest at creating a fun, not to be rude. She's not the greatest at creating a huge Facebook post with all kinds of information and everything like that. And so when she joined the committee, she was like, look, I really don't want to be given that job. And we were like, that's totally fine. If you feel that you are not good at a certain job, we're not going to even encourage you to do that. So like with Sarah Lawson and I, we both really love photography and taking pictures. So we're the main ones who goes and takes pictures during our events. We have Angela, who is really good at computer work, and she does the computer or the website work for us. So we kind of really hone in on our members' skills and try to be like, don't come into the public awareness committee or digital presence committee, whatever your committee is called, just thinking that you are now going to be forced to write Facebook posts when you're crap at that, you know. Really find each person's skills and work on that.
And that's another thing to just compliment what Caitlin just said is one of our other members is Charlotte Metcalf, and Charlotte Metcalf is so creative when it comes to reels. I don't know if you've ever seen one of her reels, but she is a whiz when on doing reels and putting in cute little graphics and choreographing it to music. She's just really good at it. And so that's, one of the things that she shines in this committee about.
Awesome. I love all the fun graphics and the colors and everything that you guys created. They're really, like eye popping and bring that attention to your posts. And that's always fun to see those. So good work. Love it.
And another thing that Sarah does, and Caitlin does it too, but they go in and they look at all those stats and they analyze how we're performing. And it's just like, okay, I'm so glad you guys are doing that. You know what it means. And they look at Instagram and they look at, everywhere we are and analyze the stats and tell us, how if we're not doing this well, maybe we should do some more of this. And it's really good.
That's awesome. I mean, those stats are great, especially if you're tracking like, what's it bringing you? If you can track back to, hey, we got new members out of it, or we got, ticket sales or whatever it happens to be. It's really good to be able to like mimic what you were doing so that you can continue to grow those channels. So yeah, very good. Anybody else? Really? Really?
Well, I have another question if nobody else
Go
does.
for it.
So on a different note than social media, I'm curious in your communities, kind of what connections do you have locally? Like how do you network your club, like with the chamber, other organizations? What kinds of organizations are helping you spread the word about your events and about our programs? And how do you develop those relationships?
So I'm going to kind of jump in on this one right now because our Dream It Be It that we did just a few months ago was one of the first ones that we did with a new school district. And they are all over it. That school district loved every single piece about it, was sharing and collaborating with us on all the social media channels, and that really helped make an impact in terms of engagement and increasing our visibility in the community. They did like a little recognition ceremony at their board meeting, and really took the time out to acknowledge the work that we did. And I think that's a really, really good connection that I know is going to grow in the future because they were really, really impressed and their students really enjoyed it. The parents really enjoyed it. And so it really just made a big impact.
I can say one of the things that have really helped us is Oakdale's a really great community, but we currently have an awesome, awesome mayor. The mayor shows up for our events, and if she's not able to make it to our events, then she'll try to come when we're setting up and doing a publicity reel for us, and she does some awesome stuff. And she's really, even if you're not somebody who is used to being interviewed, she's very welcoming. She asks the right questions. She's awesome, and she's our connection to the chamber. Plus, somehow we belong to that. I don't know that, but we do belong to that as well. And the chamber is really good about they send out an email blast about our events, and it goes to all the chamber members. And so that helps with ticket sales. It helps with marketing. It's
Yeah,
very
I think
good.
a chamber membership is totally worth the money just for the email blasts, honestly.
Yeah.
$150 or 200, usually they have a nonprofit discount. Is totally worth it because you cannot easily reach those people.
Well,
So
this is kind of a sideline, but with our chamber membership, we get their email addresses,
right.
and we get all that communication ability, and that's what we use. That's what that committee, it's headed by Nancy Lilly, and I know many of you know Nancy Lilly, but that's what they use to get our sponsorships. We have sponsorships too.
Right.
And they just started their letter campaign, and I think she said today that we've raised $9,000 just in sponsorships. It's just amazing. It's amazing.
That's awesome. Rachel? Rachel, did you have a question?
Oh, sorry, I couldn't figure out where I know how to use this, but I'm on my phone. No, I was going to say the same thing, and like we're members of the chamber, but also one of the things I always try to do if somebody from the city asks us to do something, I always say yes. Even don't tell my mom, even before I ask the president. Because I'm like, listen, I will do it myself. If not First Optimist, I will do it myself.
Yeah.
But if you always say yes, then they're always going to ask you. And then when you need something, they go, oh, I know Optimists. Oh, I know those people. Oh, they're great. So we like for Halloween, we do a balloon arch for the community. It's not really in our mission. It's not really in line with Optimists and helping support our educational goals, other than the fact that kids will be there, moms will be there. So we get to like support, or we get to, I guess, tell people about our club. And then there's other events throughout the year that we go to where we have the same kind of publicity opportunity. And it's just volunteering in your community, even as individuals, but in the name of Sir Optimist is always a good way to support publicity.
Absolutely. And you get to have fun too.
Yeah.
Right.
There's that. Kelly?
So I'm going to jump on board with the chamber thing. Also up here, we have the Angels Camp Business Association, and a couple of our members are actually on the board there. So we have a super in, and that thing blasts out to over 3,000 people. And so any of our events, they put our flyers on. Of course, we're at all their little mixers too, which gets our name out there. But we rely a lot on our members. And one of our, this speaks kind of to what you were saying, Chris, one of our newer members is the superintendent of Mark Twain Unified Elementary. And she's pushing Sir Optimist messages out to her parents, who are pushing it out to their friends. And we actually got a hit on Facebook from somebody who had heard it from a parent of a parent, and she's going to become a new member. So word of mouth is huge, and all those connections through your club. And Terry tells us all the time, anything I post, you guys just get on there for 1 minute and like it and share it. And it really is making a huge difference up here.
Yeah, awesome. Julie.
So the last few years, I think 3 or 4 years, maybe even longer now, we're part of the Santa Clara Parade of Champions. So we have one of our members has a convertible car. We have put the signs up, Debbie's ridden in it a few times, and they put their hats on to go along with our classy bag affair, and they wave and go down. One year we had too many people, so they, I guess, walked alongside the car and handed out flyers, or like little flyers. So, and I think we got a member one year from that, but that gets our name out. And then a lot of our members are part of other clubs in the city. And so they try to bring them to different events and try to get them. We've gotten a few that have joined. So,
yeah, Darlene.
Los Banos also joins the mixers for the Chamber of Commerce. And we've even started hosting them, helping pick a month and host them. So because the host merchant usually gets a lot of more attention, like who are you? So we've done that. We join the different events that the chamber puts on, like the street fairs. We do in informational booths and get out there. Any of the county events that they have, like they did the trunk or treat, we got out there. So of course they were all interested in the candy, but they do take the time and ask, well, who are you? And so we're able to give our spiel at that time. We do monthly bingo at our Valley Springs Memory Care Center. And so it's a win-win. They offer the facility at no fee. They help host it and set up and whatnot. And we don't actually do this as a fundraiser. It's more of getting our name out there. We advertise it in the newspaper. So it's free of charge if it's something like that it's a community event. We blast it on the What to Do in Los Banos. So it's, like I said, it's not a fundraiser at this point, but it really gets our name out there. But that's some of the stuff that we're doing to get Los Banos known.
Darlene, do you happen to know what your chamber dues are?
$80 a year.
And how about anyone else
80.
involved in the chamber locally?
Oakdale, it's more. I think it's like $550, but we also get the meeting room once a month for an hour where we have our board meetings.
Okay.
And then we get 2 email blasts a year, and it might be $550, $600. I don't know. They raised it a little bit, but like I said, it's worth it with the email blasts. There's a couple other things we get, mailing labels, and we get that meeting room for the board it's like an hour and a half for 12 of the, for one.
Nice. Yeah.
Ours is 150 up here.
150. Yeah, ours, we used to belong to the chamber, and the chamber dues in San Francisco went up to like $800, and we just it's like we couldn't afford it, which is sad because I feel like it's a huge opportunity for us. But
we're getting ready to join Turlock's again, and I think it was around 121 to 150, somewhere in there.
Yeah, that's sweet.
But like I said, it's worth it for the just for the list, just to get in.
Sure. I was going to share, I was also in Visalia last week for their Live Your Dream Awards. But they do more than Live Your Dream on their awards night. They also, one of the things they do every year is they honor a local business that has a similar mission, which occurred to me is a great way to, advertise your own organization is by honoring another one. I think they gave them like $200 or something, invited them to dinner. Maybe just kind of an easy way to recognize someone else, but then you're letting them know who you are. And then by virtue of them being recognized, they're also at the Live Your Dream Awards, which is, our premier thing, right? That shows off what we do. So I thought that was kind of a nice, easy way to get some more awareness for our organization. And bring goodwill just by honoring someone else. Yeah,
it's almost like the Ruby Award that we used to do. A lot of clubs still do it. They choose that, and I really like that.
They did that too. They used the Ruby Award to honor women in the community, and then they did one organization as well.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
Do you know how they chose that organization, or is there somebody from Visalia here?
There's not, and I don't know that, Kelly, but I can find out.
Yeah, I'm curious because we do the Ruby Award, which is kind of a gimme to pick that one. But I'd be curious about the business because there's a lot of people up here that are so super supportive, and I'd like something to, set them
Yeah.
apart so that we could
Yeah,
do that.
I'll connect you with their club.
Okay, thank you.
Sure.
Las Banas, to recognize the businesses, as we do a Friends of Seroptimist. So it's not a monetary award, but we invite them to our awards dinner or one of our events, and we recognize them that way and give them a certificate. And we, a lot of times we have an article. Sandy Lemus is on here. She writes articles for our club and submits them to the newspaper. So it's advertising for them. It's advertising and promotion for us. So that's what we do as Friends of Seroptimist, and we recognize businesses that have helped us throughout the year.
That's great.
Do you just pick one, Darlene?
Sometimes it's multiple, like for example, the Memory Care Center, we've recognized them, different places that have let us promote our business. They will pick them. So
I love this idea.
just so they know we appreciate what they do for us.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of a, for those that are like fear of social media. I mean, that's obviously very important, but it's not everything. I mean, we get attention and we gain followers and we do all that by engaging in our communities, right? And I'm looking for ideas because it's very hard in the city. You don't see the same people when you cross the street every day, right? So it's a little harder, and I think it's incumbent on us to do the work to reach out and find ways we can connect with other organizations. So
Definitely.
I know one way that Oakdale, as far as connecting with other organizations, we volunteer a lot with like the Lions Club and Rotary, even like just other organizations in our community.
yeah,
If that's what you were talking about, because I was actually helping my kid. So I heard the last little bit what you said.
yeah.
But
No, Manteca does that. They do an event every year with I think it's Rotary. They kind of co-do right, co-host an event.
Is
I
that the
know.
luau?
Hmm?
Is that the luau you're talking about?
Yeah,
Antigua?
yeah.
I think it is the Rotary
Rotary.
or something, but like some of their husbands are.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. We worked with Lions with with our Dream It Be It, and yeah, it worked out well. We got them to sponsor some scholarships or cash awards, basically.
One of the things that the Modesto Club does, because I'm a former member there, is, and they've been doing this for many years, but about 6 years ago, maybe 5, 6 years ago, because I was still a member, they partnered with the Sunrise Rotary for their community Christmas tree, and their community Christmas tree services 2,500 kids every Christmas. It's amazing. It is truly amazing that they pull that off. But it was getting so big and so challenging that they decided to partner with the Sunrise Rotary, and it's been a tremendous partnership because they still pretty much own the organizational structure, but partnering with the Sunrise Rotary, it brought in, that their whole network. And so it just really opened up the donor network as well as the volunteer network. It was a tremendous thing that they did. And it continues to be a tremendous thing. It is, I still work for it, even though I'm in the Modesto Club. I volunteer for that every year because it's awesome. If you ever want something to do at Christmas, volunteer for that. It's so motivating.
Yeah, that's awesome. Awesome endeavor. I'm sure it's exhausting, but so much work, but so worth it. Awesome. Any questions about policies, procedures, branding, some of the changes and things that we've been talking about at our district meetings.
Oh, I have a question, but I can't figure out the hand raising thing.
Oh, that's all right. You can
Keeps
just talk.
moving every time I move. I saw on the SAA website, are they changing the mission statement to add like with a focus on girls overcoming obstacles?
That's been it.
Like at the end of it? So does that need to be on all of our flyers and stuff?
I don't think we have a new mission statement as far as I know, Rachel.
Okay.
Did you see that on the website?
Yeah, but it's like on the strategic plan, it shows our mission. It's the same mission, but then it's it's a global organization that provides women and girls with access to achieve economic empowerment, comma, especially those facing significant obstacles.
I don't, unless it's old and refined somehow. That's not the one we're using though.
Okay.
Yeah,
I didn't want to say, I was like, oh no, which one is it now?
I know, no, it could be one that is.
Yeah, I see what you're looking at, Rachel. It does say, interesting, Chris. It says mission. So Optimist is a global volunteer organization that provides, I can't see it. Hold on. Women and girls with access to the education and training they need to achieve economic empowerment, comma, especially those facing significant obstacles.
I was trying to look it up because I was doing some flyer and then I was like, what is it? I couldn't remember exactly. And then I saw that and I was like, that's different. And then I looked at the guidelines and the guidelines still say the original one, but I'm wondering, are they changing it?
Let me find out. Okay, I'll find out.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's interesting. Yeah, I'm sure they would have let us know because
I feel like they would have let us know.
Right.
We have a hard enough time finding. I still finding the old one out there that's 5 years old.
Right. Yeah. There's a lot of.
I'll look into that. Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks for the heads up on that.
And then as far as that goes,
oh, sorry.
Oh, sorry. The only last one I had was as far as that goes. So when we're posting flyers, so to speak, online, as long as we're not printing them, they don't have to be approved, which I know sounds like a silly question, but somebody asked me that and they can. So
no, they still need to be approved, right? Yeah.
They should, if it's like I kind of tell people, if it's forward facing to someone who, so that would be social media or print, or even email. It should just have a double check on the eyes, just the one time. It's like I've had people say, "Oh, it's the same. It's the same flyer. I just changed the year." Okay, well, I'm still going to take a look at it really fast. It takes me 2 seconds. We look for 3 things: that the name of the club includes the word international, that it's actually on your flyer, that it's got the right logo. If you're using the S, that it could be the S by itself, but it could also have investing in dreams, not your best for women. Yeah, that's gone. The S is okay. And then that it has the correct mission statement on it. That's all I'm looking at, because we're trying to get that uniformity. And so, people are saying, if I'm doing internal documents, I don't really need, that's not forward facing to a potential,
right.
I want to say customer, forward facing to a potential member or media or anything like that, because that's internal. But you should check your internal documents. We may have old stuff floating around on, our old bylaws or whatever. But yeah, they should have a second eye before they go on to the social media or publication. And then that way, I also put them on the website too.
That's the bonus of sending them to Chris to review. Then she has it to repost on Facebook as well as put on the website.
Yeah. So it kind of gets double duty there. Debbie, you had a question?
Well, It's not really well, I guess it is. There's a club in District 1 that has no social media presence. No one in their club knows how. I'm trying to think outside the box. Um, I don't know if this would work, but you know how kids in high school and stuff have to do service projects?
Uh-huh.
And I know this wouldn't be good long term, but what if they could find someone to set it up for them and maybe train someone in their club on how to do it? Because otherwise, I don't know how to fix that. They don't have an interest in doing it, first of all, and they just don't know how. And I feel bad for
Yeah.
them.
Are you talking about North San Mateo by any
Yes,
chance? How did I know?
yes.
So they
Ah,
have I'll say something, and then Chris, you
Yeah, go ahead.
wiser than I, but I happen to know that they have a former Live Your Dream winner who is really good at this sort of stuff. And that might be a good way to tap into.
okay.
And I know specifically that she was looking for this was maybe a couple years ago, but I know that she was specifically looking for opportunities to like build up her portfolio, if you will, for like
Okay.
graphic design work and website work. And so
Does
that
Cheryl know that?
I don't know. So I will
Okay,
mention it to
yeah,
her.
I just talked to her about this. So she wants to talk about it at the round table. So
Yeah, I'll bring it up on Saturday when we meet, and I'll let
okay,
her know that it's an option, right?
okay. I've just been trying to think of other
She reached out
ways.
to our club asking if we had any work she could do for us. And that was before she won the Live Your Dream Award from them last year. So
Okay.
Debbie,
Yeah.
Deborah Freeman is the Live Your Dream chair, and she would know who that person is and get in touch with her and stuff. Just just another person to talk to about that.
yeah. And
Okay.
Debbie, you actually know her because I'm talking about the woman that you also tried to give an award to.
Oh,
It
that's
happens to be the same
okay.
one. So yeah,
Oh,
happen to know.
okay.
Yeah.
You're right. She's really big into the graphics and
Yeah.
yeah, she really likes that. Okay. All right. Well, let's talk about
Maybe
Saturday.
maybe they even give her a little bit of money. Who knows? I mean, if it's
Yeah.
maybe not a lot, but at least I know she was trying to build up her portfolio, but um it's a thought.
Hi.
Okay.
Here's another way around it too, Debbie, while they get that all situated. Like, if they need something posted, like they have things that they want to get posted on their page. I'm assuming they have an existing page. It's just kind of like dead in the water. Is that right? They don't really
I
use it that much.
no.
I think
They
they
have a Facebook page.
Well,
I think
yeah,
they have one. It may not
and
be
they
used.
have a website, right?
No.
The website's another
Listed.
story.
Okay.
They do have a website, but I know that it's not been updated in a long time.
Right. Okay.
But I know Cheryl used to post stuff on Facebook ever so rarely, but so I know they have
Yeah.
one.
Yeah. So
Okay.
what I was thinking is if they need something posted, like usually when I post things for clubs, like the events, like I'll do a group of like 3, 4 events or whatever. I also tag the club in that as well. And if they have their page set up properly, which they probably do, it should also show that on their page under the mentions that that post as well. So does that make sense? So if they send me something, then I can, and I post it on the region page and I tag their page, then it should be showing on their page as well.
Page, yeah.
Okay. I think they really need to attract some younger members in that club, and I think they've got to get something on social media to even maybe get someone's attention. I think they need to start doing something.
Yeah.
So
And
that's why I've been.
they got to find, like Judy was saying, if there is somebody
Yeah.
that can even make their graphics and do stuff for them, they can always copy and save the ones that the region is doing and repost those. just to get fresh. That it has to be consistent. Once every 6 months isn't going to draw that younger
No,
crowd.
right.
It has to show like they're doing something, and so to find that a key person that's willing to do something a couple times a week, I will help as best I can if they want to reach out to me while they figure out the rest of it.
Okay.
But I mean, we have gobs of posts that we've been building over the past 6, 8 months now that, they're welcome to use any and all. That's what they're being made for.
Right. Okay. Well, thank you. We'll talk Saturday and see if we can work something out.
Okay.
Right. Okay.
Any other questions? Thoughts? Ideas?
I'm curious, so Darlene and Sandy mentioned in Los Banos they're tapping into a newspaper. Is anyone else using like print media?
I've seen a couple, and I kind of have some screenshots on my phone, but I think I want to say up in the hills, Mariposa or the Sierras. Somebody had posted on a newspaper or an online news, whether it be print or digital media, I'm not positive. They were actually reposting and had their own post actually with the Seroptimus tagged in it. So there are some other clubs up in the hills.
Was it the Sierra's Dream It Be It?
Whose was it?
Sierra's Dream It Be It, maybe? I vaguely remember seeing something about that. I could be.
I think so. That's why I was like, it's up in the hills.
Yeah, yeah.
It was the Sierras. Mm-hmm.
We get coverage from the Oakdale Leader, and they oftentimes come to our events. And there was a write-up about our Dream It Be It. Well, we actually did two Dream It Be It's, which Rachel can talk about, but so they covered that, and they covered the designer bag bingo, and there was a write-up in the Oakdale Leader about that. And then we have, and maybe some of your communities have that too. We have Greet Oakdale, which is a magazine. And just prior to designer bag bingo, they featured an article about Seroptimus, and in particular, anyway, one of our members was interviewed, and so it was really from because that whole magazine is really, an opportunity to meet your neighbors. That's what it's all about. So that's why they did it from that angle. And the person who was interviewed from our club, I actually interviewed her and I actually wrote the article. But so I plugged our event because it was really to plug Designer Bag Bingo. And so Designer Bag Bingo did get plugged, but not as much as we wanted it to, but it was a really good article about, I think it featured more about the club in general, plus it featured more about live your dreams and dream it big, which is, which is what we want anyway. So we can only control things to a certain extent, so, but yeah. And I think that we reposted, I don't know if we reposted the article about Dream It Be It, but I'm pretty sure we did repost the article about the designer bag bingo. So, and that went on our Facebook page. So, but do I think that we got really good publicity? Did it make a difference in terms of our ticket sales for designer bag bingo? Probably not. I'm just guessing no, because the newspaper comes out once a week and the magazine comes out once a month. So did it really make that much difference? Probably not. I think more of it, more social media and our members getting out there and, spreading the word.
That's a good point though, Ruth. There's getting information out for purposes of fundraising and bringing people in, and there's also just getting your name out over and over and over again, whether it's driving any kind of ticket sales or attendance at events or not. I think Chris would agree. We keep putting our name out there, people start to at least recognize it, and that's a huge obstacle that we're all trying to overcome. So you never know. I occasionally will run into someone that says, "Oh, I've heard of Sir Optimus." It always catches me off guard. So like, you have? Not used to that. So, you never know.
And it's a continual thing. We always have to do it. There's new people coming into town, all the time.
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, I will say I really only use social media to keep in touch with all our clubs. Not much of a social media person other than, keeping tabs on Sir Optimist and what's happening. Um, I feel like we've come a long way in the last couple of years, collectively, individually as clubs in the region as well, and just frequency and diversity of content. And I just feel like there's a lot more out there. So I think all the clubs are doing fantastic. I mean, some more than others, but
I agree. Yeah, no.
And
There definitely a lot of people are becoming more comfortable with it. And I think that was the big part.
yeah. And tools like Canva help a lot, right? I mean,
I was actually just going to give a shout out to Rachel.
yeah.
I don't know if you've seen our flyer that she created for our Motor Madness that's coming up, but my goodness, because I'm kind of helping a little bit with trying to solicit donations, and I take that flyer out and show people in the community that flyer, and it's like everybody wants to come. Everybody wants that flyer is
Yeah, it is super
so good. It's so good. And I know that she used Canva to create it. And I think she got introduced to Canva. You could ask her, I don't know if she's still here, but I think she got introduced to Canva off of it's on the SIA website. And I think that's where she started using it. And it's really, really, really good.
Kelly.
So we were in the paper up here. Mark Twain, Dignity Health. We partner with them every year for our Take Women to Heart program, and they just did a huge article up here. And so we were in a bunch of papers up here, and I was quoted. I did not write that, but it was really good. I sounded really smart, and I approved it. I said, sure, that would be great. But we also just got an offer, not an offer. We're in line, I guess, to go on to Calaveras Community TV.
Ooh.
I don't know. I know. Judy, come do it, because everybody's going, Kelly will do it. And I'm like, okay. Because I'm a huge believer. Anytime Sir Optimus can put their name out, whether it's an article or a radio ad or whatever it can be, I will be the first one to jump on and go, sure, hand me the microphone. Let me talk about Sir Optimus. But this whole TV thing, I'm going to do it. I'll let you guys know how it goes. But
I'll help you if you want.
I don't know if it's a social media thing or if it's just a local channel. I don't know. Stay tuned. I'll let you guys know.
Awesome.
Also, I'm making Terry do it with me.
So. Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Somebody who you might want to connect with is Joanne. What's Joanne's last name? In the Modesto Club. She's been interviewed. What?
Joanne Fount?
Yeah. Joanne Fount. She's been interviewed several times for the Sacramento, out of Sacramento, and she's been interviewed for she does most of the publicity, or she used to, for that club, and she's been interviewed for the community Christmas tree, as well as they used to always do a pancake breakfast, and they had, Good Morning America or whatever, not Good Morning America, Good Morning Sacramento came in, interviewed her. So she's got She's got a lot of experience under her belt. Good
You
person to talk.
definitely use those tips. Would you put her name in the chat for me so I can write it down?
Yeah, I will.
Yeah, I can give you her contact info.
Oh,
Kathy.
great. Even better.
I owe you 2 things now.
You do. I hope you're writing this down.
I did write them down.
Awesome. Tammy.
Thank you. I thought you'd never get to me.
Sorry, honey.
So I wanted to go back to the newspaper bit. So oftentimes, if you want to put something in the newspaper, whether it's a like an ad for, say, our Motor Madness coming up, you would have to pay for that. But in our little newspaper, if it's a press release or informational, they'll put it in there for free. So oftentimes Nancy, Lily, or myself have written up an article, a press release, and we have submitted it to the editor, and she has posted that. So the last time I did that, it was for Live Your Dream. It was basically I went on SI's website and I pulled a copy of the press release. I tweaked it to make it ours, made it our information, our contact, and I submitted it to the editor, and she posted that, and we didn't have to pay because those can be very expensive. And so I just wanted to share, maybe that's one way that you use the newspaper.
Yeah, excellent reminder for sure. Some papers, if they're looking for content, they don't have anything, they'll publish them. Some papers won't. I mean, it's really hit and miss. But if you have a good relationship with them, then, you know, absolutely, they're probably going to pick yours over somebody else if they don't know. So,
you know, another thing you can do periodically, I've done this before. Okay, not here. I did it when I first joined Star Optimist. I was a very small town, but I would once a year write a letter to the editor and just like thanking the club for what they do in the community. It always got printed. You know,
nice.
It's probably a slow news day, but it's an easy thing to do, and it's, you know, it could be a paragraph, right?
Yeah. Nice. And again, all those little subtle hints to Seroptimus, you know, that name dropping.
Yeah, and it's kind of nice to put some, you know, filled with so much garbage these days.
Yeah.
It's always nice to see something positive, and it's what we do.
Absolutely. And it's interesting and it's fun, and especially when you have an event that you've been doing over and over and over, and it becomes, you know, like a real big thing in the community, that you almost become known for that event.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
You know, that's huge when the promotion kind of just takes over, you know. So those are goals, you know, hashtag goals, right? To keep working on those events to you know, because the marketing will just take off.
Yeah. I'm jealous of the clubs that have that. So
yeah, there's a club down here, not Seroptimus, so I'm not going to mention who it is, but they do this humongous thing for the community for over Veterans Day, and it's truly amazing, and they have become extremely well known for that event. And you know, again, hashtag goals, right? It's like
takes time. It takes time.
Yeah.
Anything else? This is great conversation. I love it.
Anybody learn anything new? Write down some ideas, hopefully.
Absolutely.
Well, we are here. Just reach out if you have any questions, you need anything in terms of support, assistance, questions. You just want to, you know, think something through. I'll be happy to look at whatever you need. You know, analyze websites, you know, whatever you need help with. I will try to do my best to help support your club and give some feedback or tips, tricks, whatever. So,
Chris, is there I don't know, a guideline or a list of must-haves on your websites, or we're rebuilding and I don't want to put it out there without a correct approval. So where do I need to go?
most important is the correct logo. right?
Mhm.
Most important, if you're going to use Seroptimus colors, try to match the logo-ish to a degree. You don't have to. But if you're going to be using those blues, I would kind of make sure that a little bit of the logo blue is in there. Definitely the international in your name, and definitely the correct mission statement. The things that I looked at, like I sent out a bunch of emails over the last month about web to all the the club presidents, saying we looked at your website. Here's some things, but there was also some recommendations, maybe that we looked at, kind of looked at it through the eye of someone who doesn't know anything about who we are, what we do. So maybe that's an important piece. Who we are, what we do, when do we meet, how do we contact you? Is your mailing address on there? When are the meetings, obviously. Is it easy to, what are our service projects? What are we, you know? So yeah, we have Live Your Dream, Dream It, Be It, but don't forget your personal uh, club projects and things like that. It doesn't have to be overwhelming, um, it, but it should have a nice flow. And that's really all that you're looking at.
Well, be ready. I'm going to reach out to you when it's ready so you can peruse for me again.
No worries. All righty. I think that's it, Judy. Thank you all for coming.
Thank you.